Hello and welcome to weighted yoga. Our session is called Root to Rise and we are using wrists and ankle weights. I have 2.5 pounds on my wrists and I have 1 pound on my ankles. And this session can certainly be done without any of that, but some of you I know like to join me for these classes. So here they are. We do them on Saturdays at the Norwood Library in Norwood. It's called the Lone Cone Library. So some of you are joining me there and some of you are joining me here. So let's take a comfortable seat and take a couple of nice deep breaths, and then we'll take our Shavasana towards the end. And for now, we are focusing on engaging our muscle and engaging our awareness into the core and moving from the center just by strapping on some light weights onto ankles and wrists. So let's take the hands out to the side and turn the palms up and inhale. Take it all the way up and grow strong in the core as you raise your arms up, and exhale. Take it all the way back down and inhale, sweep it up towards the sky. Take the gaze up to the thumbs and exhale, take it all the way back down. And we'll do one more time. Inhale, just kind of getting a feel for our arms and the weights and how the core shifts and moves in the hips as we move the arms. From here, we're going to come to all fours and we're going to make our way up into downward facing dog and some crescent lunges today and some movements into the poses. So this is not your normal yoga flow. This is more like a little staccato movement with yoga poses to build strength and stability. Turn the toes under, arch the spine up towards the sky and get some good awareness in towards the core and expand the back body. And then inhale, take it all the way back out, elongate out through the top of the head. Exhale, arch the spine. And if you have done the other 2 sessions with me that are linked to this video, then maybe you're feeling your muscles responding as you do this. They sure are for me today. Exhale and inhale. And again, one more. Exhaling, expanding the back body. And inhale, come to all fours and extend your right leg to the back as a support and take your left arm forward, and you can make a fist out of your arm, and we're just going to pull that elbow back and really wake up in towards the core and bring the arm up to diagonal forward and diagonal back. Inhale and exhale. And we'll start right here. And inhale and exhale and see how it feels for the back, for the sacrum, for the core. If you wanted to, you can take your arm and your leg and move them at the same time and bring some good awareness in towards the glutes, using the glutes and the lower abs for our tabletop, more kind of advanced movement, right? We have 1 arm and 1 leg right now. We'll do another 4 here. Inhale and exhale. Stay focused in towards the front side of the spine, getting some good movements going. And we'll do 1 more, getting some circulation going. And exhale, take it all the way back down, hands and knees. And then exhale, extend your left leg to the back and your right arm forward. Make a fist out of your hand. And we'll start by taking that right arm up at a diagonal towards the back. And take the arm forward, diagonal to the back. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And if you wanted to, you can add on your leg to lift it up and down. And then we're really finding that center line, that core line that we also use when we move in and out of down dog from different poses and 2 different poses. It's nice to find the whole front side of the spine. We'll do another 4 here, pulling that right arm up and back. And that left glute is super strong. And we'll do 1 more here. Last one, and exhale, take it all the way back down. Sit back into child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Take your forehead to the floor. And gently bring it all the way back up. tuck the toes under, and again, we'll arch the spine up to the sky, and inhale, bring it all the way back down, and exhale, taking it all the way up, and inhale, bring it back down. One more time, exhale, vacuum suck the belly button all the way in, and then exhale, come to tabletop, opposite arm, opposite leg. This time we'll take knee to elbow, exhale and inhale. Claw your left fingertips, bring your elbow and your knee towards each other from the core. And then extend the arm and the leg to the horizon again. That's sometimes the hard part when we got these weights on. Inhale and exhale. We'll do another 4 here, and another 3, and 2 more, and 1 more. Extending the arm and the leg, and then take your hand down, take your knee down, and switch to the second side. Take your right leg out, your left arm forward, horizon with your toes and your fingers. Use your core, find your elbow and your knee. Inhale and exhale. And sometimes I feel when I do these without the weights that there isn't much going on in my core besides my arm and my leg moving. And by strapping on the weights, I definitely feel the core working. I hope you do too. Another 4 here. Inhale, exhale, extending that arm and the leg opposite direction. We have 1 more. Inhale, exhale, and take it back down. Take your knee down and take downward facing dog, please. Ardha Chandrasana. Walking about into the back of the heels, into your Achilles. Give yourself a few breaths right here, moving back and forth. Take a step and walk over to the hands. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, hinge and fold. And then we roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, having the knees slightly bent and coming all the way up, arms up to the sky, and exhale, hands all the way back down. Nice. Inhale, bring it all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hinge and fold, center line. Resist the weights as you fold forward. Inhale, long spine, and exhale, step back to downward facing dog, please. Ardha Chandrasana. Sweep your right leg up to the horizon. Lift your glute, lift your belly button. Take your knee to your chest 3 times. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Step your right foot between your hands, left knee down to your mat, and have your knee and your hip stacked above and below each other. And from here, take the tailbone down and lift the belly. And you should feel a bit more of a stretch into your quad. We're just going to stay right here for now. Take your arms out to Cactus Pose and chest presses. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale. Keep that core engaged. Keep the lower belly lifted. Keep that quad engaged and get a nice quad and hip flexor stretch. 4 more here, and 3 more, and 2 more, and last one. From here, take the arms all the way up and come forward to Anji Asana, and coming a little deeper into that hip flexor stretch. Arms up to the sky, maybe they come slightly to the back, lifting heart and chest and shoulders, and then exhale. Bring your hands down to your mat, step back, downward facing dog. Walk about in your down dog, find your perfect spot for feet and hands. Lift upper arm bones, sink your heels down to the mat. Use your core to hold yourself in your down dog. Sweep your left leg up to the horizon. Take your knee to your chest and bring it back out. And take the knee to the chest and bring it back out. And knee to chest. And then from here, step the foot between the hands. Take your right knee down. Inhale, come up to Crescent, lunge into your right quad, into your right hip flexor. So lift the belly button and then tailbone straight down. And chest presses again. Inhale and exhale. Bring it together and squeeze it to the back. And bring it together and squeeze it to the back. It's very active in the legs. Tailbone down, right side quadricep, hip flexor stretch at a different level than coming straight forward. We'll do 4 more here, and 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more. Take the arms out all the way up to the sky, and palms can face each other, and then we can start to sink down into our Anji Asana pose. A little bit different approach of getting into it, plugging it in, and then basically just softening into that right hip, left hip. Lift the heart, the chest, the lungs. Lift your arms up and over. Stay plugged in. Exhale, release. Hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Ardha Chandrasana. Step your right foot between the hands and come to feet wide apart, please. Turn your toes slightly in and take your hands all the way forward to lean back into Prasarita Padottanasana hinge version, where we just have the feet wide apart and lean back, right, like with little suction cups onto those fingertips, and we can just lean it all the way back. 1 more breath right here. And from here, take your hands underneath. Take your right elbow in towards your right knee and flip your left toes up to the sky. And gently come up and over second side. Left elbow to your left knee. Flip your right toes up to the sky. And then gently bring it all the way back up. And take yourself over to the front of the mat and come to downward facing dog, please. Ardha Chandrasana. Make your way to plank pose. Shoulders and wrists are stacked. Pull the belly button in. Lift the floating ribs and sink the hips and get that nice feedback in towards the core. Bring your knees to the mat. Come all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Pull the chest forward, ears back. And exhale, bring it all the way back down. Push back. Child's pose. Big toes together. Knees apart. And gently make your way back up to downward facing dog, fully plugged in, rooting down from your wrists, from your ankles, and finding that center nicely connected and plugged in. Step your right foot between the hands and stay nice and low. And then from here, extend your front leg, toes up to the sky, and exhale, come all the way back down. And inhale, exhale. Parsvottanasana. It's like a touch and go. Just a little hello into hamstrings, hip flexors. 1 more. Take it all the way back down. Left hand out to the side and sweep your right arm all the way up. Then we'll do our circles here like we did yesterday. Inhale, sweep that right arm up and over. And bringing it up and around. Big 360 turn and churn into the shoulder area. And into the lats and into the transverse abdominals. We'll do 1 more here, sweeping it nice and tall around, and hands back down, step it back, downward facing dog. Make your way over to plank pose, shoulders and wrists are stacked. 1 breath, and then exhale, knees to the floor. Take it all the way down. Inhale to cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Push back, child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. And gently bring it all the way back up. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Ardha Chandrasana. Step your left foot between the hands. Stay nice and low. And extend your front leg. And exhale, take it back down. Inhale and exhale. Just a nice low lunge into Parsvottanasana. Like a nice little touch and go to wake up in towards the hamstrings and the quads. And then we'll do 1 more. Exhale using the core, and then sinking all the way down. Take your right hand down, sweep the left arm up and around, and we'll do our circles. Bringing it all the way forward, up and around, and opening up into the shoulder, into the intercostal muscles, lats and transverse abdominals, and we'll do 2 more here. And 1 more, taking it all the way up and around, and then exhale, take your hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, come forward to your plank pose. Bring your knees to the floor, come all the way down, inhale to cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder, exhale, like a nice big wave, come back down and push back to child's pose from your core. Exhale and lay yourself down, and then make your way up to tabletop, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog, please. And we're going to step the right foot between the hands. Take a pause right here, and then take your hands to your right leg. And then from there, we'll come up and release the hands to the hips. See if we can square the hips forward. So we're going to do a little knee lift here in our crescent and get a little activation onto the left leg. So see if you can also use a lot of glute on your right side to support yourself with bending it down and lifting up, and bending down and lifting up, kind of taking it to from our quad stretch earlier. And we'll do 1 more without the arms, and then we might take the arms with us up to the sky, pull them back down to the waist, up, pull them to the waist, and up, pull them to the waist. 2 more, using that core, using the whole lower body, arms and chest. Last one, high crescent lunge. Take your arms up and lift it up and back and up and back. Lift the heart, the chest, the lungs, and exhale, take it to the center and take it all the way down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Give yourself a pause right here, a little remembrance into the front side. Take your knees down, bring it all the way down. Inhale to your cobra. Inhale, nice big breath, and then exhale, take it back down like a nice big wave. Push back, child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Make your way up to tabletop, make your way up to down dog. From your core, extend out the arms and the legs. Press the palms, lift the upper arm bones. And step your left foot between the hands. We'll take a little pause and take the hands to your left quad and knee. Take a little pause, pull that left hip back. Take your arms to the hips to start. And you're gonna bend into that right knee so that it should feel easy in a resistant kind of hard way to lift the right leg. So fire up the support system on the left glute and the right quad and a whole lot of abs. And then here we go. 5, lifting the right knee in, sinking it back down. Bringing your right knee in, back down, staying into our center, into the core. We have 2 more here with hands on hips. You can keep your hands on hips, or you can take your arms up and then bring your hands to the waist. You choose. Inhale and exhale. Have a good time here, finding the center, finding all 4 corners on that standing foot. I believe we have 1 more. Take it up, and then we'll step it all the way back. Hands together, interlace. Lift it up, high crescent lunge. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Lift and lift and lift. And then exhale, take it back to the center. Hands to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. I hope you felt that a little bit and raised your heartbeat a few notches and get a little nice metabolism going, a little nice boost into the muscles of cleaning and clearing. Come all the way down onto the knees this time, tabletop. We'll do a couple of lateral movements for the hips and the lower back and the abductors, and then we're going to make our way into Trikonasana and some lifts there too. So for now, let's have the hands and the knees down. I like to put my knees all the way together and start from the center. Pull the belly button in, taking my right leg up and down. Using glute muscles, using rotators, using abductors and adductors. And we'll keep this going. We're taking the knee just 90 degrees out. 4 more here. Just kind of prepping for our Trikonasanas. 2 more. And 1 more. And then we'll take it up and hold it and pulse it and pulse it and pulse it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Lift that knee up. 2 and 1, and bring it back down. And second side, left leg up. We're lifting and lowering, having some nice awareness in towards the center, lifting and lowering, squeezing the side of the hip. Keep it going for 6 more here. Lifting and lowering, 4 more, and 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more. We'll lift it up and pulse it for 8, for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back down. Excellent. Come to downward facing dog, please. Ardha Chandrasana. Feet together, as close as they can come comfortably. Use your core. I like to step my left leg in slightly and come up onto the ball of the foot. Bend the left leg to lift my right leg up from the glute and the lower abs. Bend your right knee here. We're going to do a couple of hip circles. Take your right leg up towards the sky. Engage your core. Take your right knee to your right elbow, to your left elbow, and back up around. So a nice big circle with your right knee. We'll do 5 of them. So we have 2 more left here. And 1 more. And then take the leg up, stretch into the quad, step your right foot between your hands, both feet flat. Use your glutes, your core to stand up into your tall Trikonasana stance. Flip your palms up. We're going to lift it up and down, and just lifting it up and down. So every time those arms goes up, we get even more rooted into the legs. Just 2 more, taking it up and down. And 1 more, nice. Take the arms back up, interlace, take it to the back side of the body, stretch into the right side, and come to the center, arms out to the side. I like to bend my knees and press the feet down even more. Feel all the 4 corners of the feet. Come to Trikonasana. Maybe your hand is on your knee. Maybe your hand is on the hip. You choose. Maybe you sink your hand down towards your ankle or your leg weight. It's a perfect place to put your hand. There's many ways to put the hand for Trikonasana. Today, why not use the leg weight and have it feels like you're kind of standing on a slack line when you have your hand on your leg. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads, squeeze your hamstrings. Feel all 4 corners of the feet. Stay rooted down. Take your left hand to your hip. Take your gaze down. Bend your front knee and step it up into Ardha Chandrasana. You can keep your right leg bent. You can have your left hand on the hip or take it up towards the sky. We're going to bend and touch the toes down and squeeze your left hip back up. Bend and touch it and squeeze it back up. Nice. And again. We'll do 2 more to make it 5. Finding that balance, finding that core, and then taking that left arm and the left leg up for Ardha Chandrasana. Squeeze all the muscles you have, invite everything in. Gaze can stay down to stay extra rooted and grounded. Bend your front knee, step it back to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Gaze up, feel extra rooted into the legs. Take the gaze back down, hand to the floor, bend your front leg, flip your back heel up, step back, downward facing dog. Ardha Chandrasana. Give yourself a few breaths right here. Organize yourself on your mat. And from here, bring your feet together as comfortably close they can come. And then sweep your left leg up. Keep your right knee slightly bent so you can plug your femurs in. Bend your left leg up here. And then make your way for your circles, hip circles with elbow to knee and elbow to knee to elbow, knee to elbow. Because we're not moving the elbows, we're just moving the knee. You guys already know that. And we'll do 2 more to make it 5. Use the core to move your hip in a circle. 1 more, take it around, bring it up, open up into that left hip, and step your foot between your hands. Squeeze your glutes, both feet flat. Windmill yourself up into a tall standing Trikonasana, arms facing up. Bring your arms up and back down to put a little extra rooting signal into the legs and the feet. We'll do 2 more. Inhale and exhale as the breath wants to move you. And then we'll take the arms all the way back up, interlace the hands, and take it to crescent, to the side, to the back, stretch into that left side of the waist. Stay really anchored into the legs. Take yourself back to the center, arms out, palms facing down, and pull the lower belly in and start to make your way into your Trikonasana with your hand either to the leg or to your hip up in the sky. See where your arms would like to take you for your triangle pose. Gaze can stay down, it can stay up. Squeeze your lower belly, lift your lower belly in, which will send a signal into rooting into the legs. 1 more breath here. We have the gaze down for extra grounding. Take your right hand to your hip and bend your front leg, step it up to Ardha Chandrasana. You can take your left hand out to the side. The right hand can stay down or you can bring it up. Yeah, stay into that center line. Slightly hug the front of the body. Pull the belly button in. Bend into your left knee slightly. And then we're going to tap the toes down and lift your side leg back up. The right side of the leg, sweeping it up and down. A nice squeeze for the lateral body. We'll do 2 more here and 1 more, and then we'll hold it up and find Ardha Chandrasana. Gaze down to stay extra rooted. Hold your weights, your ankles, your wrists into that center line, into the slight front of the body. 1 more breath here, and then we'll bend into the standing leg, step it back to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Press into the feet. You can take the gaze up and exhale, take it all the way back down and turn yourself forward, flip your back, heel up to the sky, step it back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Excellent. From here, come up onto the toes, bend the knees. We're going to do 3 cat-cows here to bring everything back into that center. That was quite a few different lateral versions. 1 more breath here. And exhale, take it all the way back up and come to your downward facing dog. Look between the hands and elongate the core a little bit more, and then come to your toes, come down to your knees, please. We're going to take 2 different side body exercises, yoga style version. So we'll come into, we're gonna call it prepping for mariegreenyoga, which is gate pose. We do it with some resistance today. Step your right leg out, and your toes can be slightly at an angle forward or tucked in. So as long as your leg is comfortable and you feel good into your hips. Sometimes it feels good to be parallel with the mat. Sometimes it feels good to have your toes forward. I'm working with inner rotation to free up my lower back, so I'm going to turn my toes slightly in. You might want to have something underneath your left knee. So from here, we're going to take the hands right at the back and base of the skull and lean over the right leg and extend your arms out to the side and bring it back in and take it over and bring it all the way up and over and take it over and again take it up and over and bring it over, and again, hands by base of the skull, and take it up and over, and extend, and get in towards that left side of the waist. And we'll do 2 more here. Inhale, exhale, then we're gonna switch it up to the opposite side. And from here, take your hand by the base of the head, take it up and over, and it's like you're pulling a little bit on your head, and now you're really feeling it into your right side of the body. Take your arms out, take it back over, and here we just do a little side crunch, and come to the left side, and extend, bring it back in, come up and over, side body, and over, extend. We'll do 2 more here. I'm hoping you're feeling something. I sure do. Lift the belly button in, lengthen the side bodies, and 1 more time. And here we are, extending it all the way out, extending the arms to each side. Take your left hand down, keep your right arm up, and leg lifts with the side, lateral side of your right leg and hip. Lifting and lowering, and lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Nice. You can take the gaze up towards your thumb, or you can look forward. We'll do another 4 here. Keep the lower belly plugged in. 2 more, and 1 more, and then put your right foot back down, arms out to the side, right hand down, and here comes our gate pose, mariegreenyoga. Taking it up and over, breathing, holding on with the extra weight on the arms, and really plugging into that left side of the body, and gently taking it all the way up and switching to the second side. Take a breath and step your left leg all the way out. From here, take your hands by your base of your skull again, by the neck, right above the neck. You kind of have your thumbs at the base of your neck. And then we'll take it over to the right side and take our crunch towards the outstretched leg and arms out. So we have about 6 on each side. So a crunch to the side, crunch to the other side, and extend the arms towards the outstretched leg. And bring it up and over, and up and over, and outstretched, and to the side, and again. Keep that core nicely engaged. Lift it up and over, and up and over, and again. We'll do 1 more here, and then we'll extend it all the way out, hands by the base of the skull. Take it over to the closed side, or the side that's not outstretched, and then really reach those arms up to the side. You should feel it in the left side of the waist. Take your hands to the side and side crunch, and bring it back over to the right side. Extend and back down, side crunch. Lift your lower belly all the way in, and side crunch. We'll have 3 more here. Lift it up and over, and side. Lifting 1 more, take it up and over, and lifting arms to the side, holding on, and take it all the way up and over for our, no, let's take our arms out to the side. We'll stay here and lift the arms sideways, 1 down, 1 up, and then we'll lift the left leg up and down, and up and down, and lifting it up and down, and up and down. And we'll keep this going, and then we'll come to our Angiosana Pose after the plugging in into that left hip. We'll do another 4 here, and 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more, and then we'll take it back down and extend the arms out. This time, left hand to the left leg, and lift the right arm all the way up and over, and up and over, and up and over. And a few more breaths right here, and gently take it all the way back up. And that should feel pretty good for the side body. Take your hands all the way down and take downward facing dog, please. We're gonna take all that side body into the center and take our downward facing dog from there and find our way to extended side angle, plugged in from hands, from feet with the extra weight. Downward facing dog, plank pose. Take your knees to your mat, come all the way down. Inhale to cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Exhale, take it back down like a nice big wave. Child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. Downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. Step your right foot between your hands. Leave your right hand behind your right shin ankle on the block or on the floor. Take your left arm up to the sky and bring it back down and take it back up. We'll do a few ignitions into that side body before we plug that upper arm bone in even more for extended side angle. We'll stay here for another 3 more here and 2 more. Engage in towards your glutes, in towards your quads, in towards your hamstrings, and then we'll take that arm all the way up, back to the center, pull the upper arm bone in, and then take your left arm over the ear for extended side angle, Kunasana. Few breaths right here. Exhale, hand to the floor, step it back, flip your left heel up, step back, downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. Make your way over to plank, 1 breath, lower down to the knees, all the way, inhale to cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder, exhale, take it back down, push back, child's pose, big toes together, knees apart, make your way to downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. Step your left foot between your hands, left hand outside your left shin ankle, right foot flat. Take your right arm up to bring it back down, to start a little ignition into that shoulder, into the whole right side. It's like we kind of are plugging it in a different way after our side lifts. And we'll do another 4 here. Stay plugged into your glutes, into your quads, into your lower belly. And 2 more here. And 1 more, and then we'll take that right arm to the horizon, pull the upper arm bone in, take your right arm over your ear for extended side angle, take the gaze underneath the upper arm, 1 more breath, exhale, hand down, and flip your back heel up, downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. 1 more vinyasa, shoulders and wrists are stacked, knees to the floor, lower all the way down. Inhale into cobra, inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Exhale, take it back down and push back, child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. And gently bring yourself back up, downward facing dog, Ardha Chandrasana. To step 1 foot between the hands. This time it does not have to be very super far apart. We'll just comfortably wide. We're going to take the hands to the hips, elbows to sky, come up to standing. So a little bit outside of the hips. We're going to come back to what we did one of the previous classes for our toes slightly out and our heels in. You can interlace your hands. You can bend your knees. Yeah, we're just going to do something with the hands here soon, but for now, just bend your knees so we have our quads as parallel to the floor as possible. That's comfortable and burns a little bit. And maybe the toes comes more forward, maybe they come more out. As long as your knees are feeling super stable and happy, knees over second toe. Interlace your hands. We're going to round the spine and do a double pulse down and lift the arms up. And a double pulse underneath and swing it up. And again, double pulse and bring it up. And really awaken the whole front side of the belly. And bring it underneath and back up. And if you're like me, you might start to straighten those knees. So just a friendly reminder, keep those knees bent. Yes, and we'll do it again. And I'm hoping that you're feeling a little something in your core, in your abs. We'll do 2 more here. Lowering, pulsing back and swinging it up. And exhale 1 more. Bring it up and take your hands down. And Shake it out a little bit. Arms side to side. Feet hip width apart. Shake out your arms. Clear the fields around you. And then gently, we're gonna simply come all the way down to our backs in no fancy manner, because we're not gonna hop or skip or anything like that with our weights on. We wanna just come down very safe. So heels down, toes up, cross your hands at your chest, and we're gonna roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then we're gonna roll it back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, as best as we can. And again, we're gonna roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae, and rolling it back up as best as we can. You might roll more than I'm rolling, because I have a way of somehow skipping my lower back sometimes, and sometimes it rolls. We'll do one more, bringing it all the way down and taking it down to the sides, pressing the feet down, coming into our bridge pose, lifting the hips all the way up. And we'll do a bridge pose by pressing the arms and shoulder blades underneath us, press the feet, and do a little pulsing up here to make sure that glutes, rotators are plugging back into a nice new place of being, that the lower abs are very active for us. And we press the feet and lift, and just do another 4 here, 3 and 2 and 1, and then we'll take it all the way back down. Excellent. Take the knees into the chest and hug it all the way in, and give a little loving to the body by plugging in the femurs, rooting the femurs in, hugging it all the way, letting that spine release. A few more breaths right here. And you can take your hands to the sides, take the legs up towards the sky, and this might be plenty. Keep your lower back flat and extend your legs up, and just find that nice ignition. We did a lot of laying on our backs the first class and really plugging in, so you might need to go revisit that if you wanted to make sure that you feel good in your spine. When that feels like a good thing, then we'll kind of take that floor with us, even though we are certainly lifting off it. If you wanted to take it over into a upward facing forward bend or a plow pose, lifting your legs up and over, using your core, stretching the whole spine, adjusting your shoulders, maybe taking your arms over towards the feet. A few more breaths right here, and then we're going to take the hands all the way back over to the side of the body, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae and by vertebrae, and giving a good massage in towards the spine, middle, lower, bending your knees in. Take your hands underneath your knees and roll it up into boat pose, to half boat pose. Bring your arms out, maybe taking your legs up into your Navasana, into your boat pose, with your ankle weights, with your wrist weights, and it's a little bit of a different story. And then we'll roll down to half Navasana, half boat pose, and like somebody's gently pulling those legs away. We're getting some good feedback in towards the core. One more breath right here, and then exhale, bring the knees in, roll it all the way up, cross at the ankles, and then we'll take all of the poses that we've done and plug them in to a new fine-tuned downward facing dog. Second finger forward, pinky finger next to the edge of the mat. You can have your feet flat onto your mat. You can have your feet a little wider, pull the belly in, full core downward facing dog, plugging it all the way in. Maybe from that place the feet walks out, and maybe the heels comes down. We still stay very plugged in. You can look up towards your belly button. You can release the gaze to your nose, tip of the nose. One more breath right here. And then come up onto the toes and bend the knees and come to a comfortable seat on the knees. You might take your weights off. We don't need them anymore. We're gonna take the arms all the way up towards the sky and end the way we started with 3 nice big breaths. Inhale, take it all the way up, and exhale, bring it all the way back down. We'll do one more. Inhaling, arms up, and exhale, hands all the way back down. You can put your hands in your lap. It's extra grounding and rooting with the wrist weights for sure. So these 3 videos that we have done together with wrists and ankle weights sure are a little bit different than a regular yoga flow class. And I just think that it's helpful to help us to find a little extra muscle resistance. Let me know what you think about it, and try all 3. And if you are in the area, come visit me on Saturdays at 10 o'clock at the Lone Cone Library in Norwood. And we do a little bit of a mix of this and certainly other things as well. Visit my other YouTube videos. I have over 200 classes to practice along with, and I very much appreciate you for being here. I hope you had a great session, and drink some extra water and take a nice long Shavasana on your back or on your belly with a blanket. Make it comfortable. From here, let's take the hands to the heart, interlace the heel of the hands together. You have to push those weights away. Bring the palms together. Close your eyes. Hoping that the body feels a little bit more plugged in, a little bit more rooted, and moving from a grounded place into the center line. If you'd like to join me for an Om, we'll take a nice big inhale. And exhale, release the hands, and make your way into a comfortable supine position. Bring in your pillows, your blankets, and we'll take a Shavasana together. And I'll see you in the next session. I'll take a Shavasana with Kali. Press your head, adjust your shoulder blades. Let the breath come and go as it likes. Stay as long as you like, as long as you feel that your body is rejuvenating and replenishing all of the work that you just did with new oxygen, with rest.